Good to go. Take your time. Thanks, Eric. What's it say?
Key is locked.
Take your time. Something Eric can help you with?
No, it's gone.
Oh, there we go. All right, thank you both. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to everybody. We will call to order this regular meeting of the Lawrence County Board of Commissioners. Today is Tuesday, July 30 of 2024. A couple of housekeeping items. I'll note that the meeting is being live streamed and recorded. Also ask if you have a cell phone of any type, if you please put it on silent or vibrate. We'd appreciate your doing that. We always begin our meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance, and then we would ask you to remain standing for a moment of silence. I neglected a couple weeks ago. We sometimes try to remember local officials who may have passed away, and it's a very nice gentleman who many years ago was a Hickory Township supervisor, Mr. Jim Patton. And Rich, you might remember Jim. Yeah, he passed away within the last few weeks. So if we could keep his family in our thoughts and prayers. And we'll now go for the Pledge of Allegiance. And Mr. Rapone, would you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll take a moment for a brief moment of silence. Thank you. Vanessa, would you please call the roll?
Commissioner Sinata?
Here.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Here.
Commissioner Vogler?
Here, we have a quorum. We always have opportunities for public comment, one in just a few moments and then one before we adjourn the meeting. You're very welcome to make your comments either at both opportunities or one of the two, or if you're just here to listen, that's fine. We do ask that your comments be related to county government matters, and you try to limit your time to about 5 minutes if you could. I note that we have a visitor from the Newcastle Public Library. Zoe, did I get your name right?
Yes.
And Zoe, we do have further down on the agenda, we do have a line item here for resolution we'll be considering involving the library. So we'll be getting to you shortly. But thank you for joining us today. We always also set aside time for any of our row officers who might be in attendance for any reports or comments that they would like to make. Now, our county treasurer, Richard Rapone, is here today. He has an agenda item, but Richard, anything over and above that for us?
I could wait to the agenda.
Okay,
We're good.
very good. Thank you. Thanks for joining us. And then I will take us to public comment. Are there any public comments at this time? Yes, ma'am.
Do I come up?
You're fine right
Okay.
there. Yes.
I'm Zoe Ralston from the Newcastle Public Library. I'm the circulation manager. And on behalf of everyone at the library, we just want to thank you for your support and the resolutions that you're a part of.
That's very kind of you, and we thank you for being with us. And again, we've got a few preliminary items we got to get through, but we'll get to you very shortly. So thanks for joining us. How's my friend Chris Fabian doing?
He's good.
What a gentleman he
Yes.
is. He is a first-class gentleman. He's
Yes.
such a helpful person.
Yes. Every time I've asked him for help, he's given me 10 options of how to get to where I need to go.
I'm not surprised.
Yes.
Give him my best.
I will.
I think well of him. Thanks again. Any other public comment? That takes us to fiscal and contractual. And today we have a repository bid. And you know what, my papers got mixed up, so please bear with me just a second. Here we go. This repository bid, and Vanessa, what number will this one get?
207.
Number 207. This bid has come in from a Mr. Raymond McCree. The amount of the bid is $500. It's for parcel number 33-190000, located on the West Pittsburgh Road in Taylor Township. The township supervisors in Taylor Township have accepted the bid. It's noted here that the Newcastle Area School District did not return their request We've noted in the past that sometimes there's a little bit of an overlap with meetings that leads to this, but we have before us this $500 bid, and it's number 207, and let me open it up and see if there are any discussion. Chris, anything you're concerned about with this? Dan, anything? Okay, gentlemen, thank you both. Would one of you care to make a motion then to approve Resolution 207, which would allow us to accept the bid?
I move we accept the resolution.
Thank you, Chris. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Dan. Any other questions or concerns? If not, we'll take a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you, Vanessa. Also under fiscal and contractual, we have 2 warrant registers, also known as check reconciliation registers, provided to us by the Controller's Office. They are dated July 26 and July 25 of this year. Gentlemen, I'll give you some time to look these over, and if there are any questions, we can try to address them. And then whenever you're ready, we can also take a motion to accept these documents.
I'll make a motion to approve the registers. I'll second that.
Gentlemen, thank you both. Any questions about the warrant registers? If not, I'll ask Vanessa to call the roll for us to accept them.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. By the way, the documents that we are referring to are available for anyone who would wish to see them, including the minutes of the July 23 meeting that was held last week. Again, Dan and Chris, I'll give you time to look them over. And whenever you're ready, I could accept a motion for us to approve the minutes.
I move we accept this. Second.
Thank you both. If there are no questions, Vanessa, could you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes?
motion carries.
Thank you. Under written communications, we have a number of documents that have come into our office since last week. I'm going to read through them and stop me if you have any questions about them. The first is a letter dated July 1 from Frank B. Taylor Engineering, advising the county that the Township of Wilmington intends to submit an application to the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection to obtain a general permit BWEW-GP-11. This is for maintenance, testing, repair, rehabilitation, or maintenance of water obstructions and encroachments for the following project. This is for a culvert replacement on Phillips School Road in Wilmington Township. And I'll defer to Mr. Kennedy because that's in your neighborhood. Anything you wish to add about this one, Dan?
No, this is just an ongoing problem that needed replaced years ago. Finally getting done.
Is this the culvert, the stream runs through Marty Park? Is that the same stream? Yeah, okay. Well, good to know. It sounds like they're making progress.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. The next piece of correspondence comes from, I'm going to pronounce it Letterly and Associates. I hope I pronounced it correctly. They're based in Allison Park. And this letter gives us notification that Reed Oil Company, which is based in the city of Newcastle, is submitting a Tier 1 site-specific installation application, Part 1, to DEP, Bureau of Environmental Cleanup and Brownfields, to replace 2 existing above-ground storage tanks with 2 new tanks of the same capacity for the distribution of petroleum gasoline by the equipment at their facility in the city of Newcastle. We've also received a second piece of correspondence. By the way, the first one was dated July 3. This one is also from Letterly Associates, dated July 16. And it's on behalf of Reed Oil Company in the city of Newcastle. That company is applying to DEP, Bureau of Air Quality Control, for a new plan approval permit for the petroleum distribution equipment at their facility in the city of Newcastle. The Pennsylvania American Water Company This letter comes to us from their office in, bless you, in Mechanicsburg, dated July 5, and it was actually sent to the Lawrence County Planning Commission, but we were copied, and it's noting that the Pennsylvania American Water Company has filed an application with the Pennsylvania Public Utility Commission for approval of the right to offer, render, furnish, and supply water service to the public in an additional portion of New Beaver Borough, Lawrence County, Pennsylvania. The Joseph Toman Funeral Home and Crematory in Elport Borough has written to the three commissioners, noting that, says here, the Joseph A. Toman Funeral Home and Crematory is located at 97 Grimm Avenue in the borough of Elport. We have been located here since 2004. Our crematory has also been operating here since then, and our current operating permit from the Pennsylvania DEP is valid through January 31 of 2025. I am writing today to notify the county that the Toman Funeral Home has applied for a renewal of our existing permit number NM3700322. And it's signed by Mr. Joseph A. Toman. And then the final document we have received is from LSSE Engineers and Surveyors, and they're notifying us, this was actually sent to the County Planning Commission, but we have received a copy, notifying us that Taylor Township owns and operates the sewage treatment plant located within the township's borders. The township is in the design phase for the rehabilitation of the sewage treatment plant. The work under this project generally includes conversion of existing aeration basins to sequencing batch reactor wastewater treatment process, modifications and improvements to existing headworks, conversion of settling tanks to equalization and effluent pumping, construction of an above-ground digester sludge holding tank, installation of a UV disinfection system, control building renovations, and site improvements. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, we earmarked some ARPA dollars to assist with this project. So we're glad to see that Taylor Township is moving forward. Gentlemen, those are the pieces of correspondence we've received. Mr. Sanada, any questions or concerns?
That looks pretty straightforward.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Kennedy? Okay, thank you. Gentlemen, would one of you care to make a motion to accept these documents?
I'll make a motion to accept these documents.
I'll second.
Thank you both. If there are no other concerns, we can take a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Vanessa. Commissioner reports and comments. Today, Mr. Sanada, you get to go first.
All right, Chairman, thank you. I mean, since last week, I think we had a little bit of a busy week up here, just getting things done at the courthouse. I actually had an opportunity on Saturday to stop down on the south side of Newcastle and visit with the Gussie Hop Walker House, had their annual fun day. They do that every year. I guess they've done it for 18 years now. And it was nice to see a lot of the residents in the south side there and having a good time. And that was a major event for the weekend. I got to get prepared. I think this week's going to be a busy week going up to Franklin. This will be my first official meeting of the Northwest Regional Caucus as I succeeded Chairman Vogler. So I've been got there last 2 months, but this will be one of my own, and we get to do a double header. I get to do that one, and afterwards there'll be a second meeting, I think dealing with broadband. They're going to make a total presentation, so I look forward to that day on Friday, and I'll report back to my two fellow commissioners next week. Hopefully we get some positive feedback there. So that's pretty much all I have today.
Okay, thank you, Chris, very much. Commissioner Kennedy?
The only real thing I have was Friday night, I got invited to Beaver Lawrence Farm Bureau picnic outing. And we went out for a couple hours and had some fun with some of the people we got to know last year. We were on the campaign trail, so it was good to see one of them. The person that did show up, I'm going to give him a hard time, was Grant McKinley. Oh, I figured he'd be there. Maybe he came later. We didn't stay too late.
Was that the SNPJ
Yeah.
Borough?
Yeah, well, that place is a busy place. They had all kinds of, they had a couple weddings going on and that going on, but that's a busy place. So that's about it. Besides that, I was taking it easy the rest of the weekend and kind of relaxing, so it's good.
Thank you, Dan, very much. The three of us will be leaving this weekend for our annual conference of the State County Commissioners Association. We will be assembling in Adams County. The county seat is Gettysburg, so we're looking forward to that. Accordingly, this board will not meet in public next Tuesday because we will be attending our conference. Great opportunity to hear a lot of good speakers, and particularly to get to know other commissioners from around the Commonwealth. And I know, Rich, you have the same set of circumstances when you go to your treasurer conferences. You make those friendships, and they really come in handy.
Sure do.
You can always pick up the phone and, commiserate with your fellow elected officials. So we're very much looking forward to attending this conference. Also want to note that all three of us, Mr. Sanada, Mr. Kennedy, and myself, were invited, and we attended the press conference last Wednesday down at the Hometown Pharmacy, which was put on by Governor Shapiro, and State Senator Brooks was there. There were a couple House members from Allegheny County, but and Commissioner McGonigal was there from Mercer County as well. But we appreciate, and Mayor Alisco. I don't want to forget Mayor Alisco being there. But we appreciate the governor coming to town, and we appreciate being invited to participate and attend the press conference. That's all I have today. So we're going to move on to new business and proposed resolution 208. Mr. Rapone, would you mind? This involves the county treasurer's office, and Mr. Rapone is our county treasurer, and we're always pleased to have you join us, Rich. And I think you're going to talk about the real estate tax due dates in 2025. I'll turn it over to you.
Correct. Good morning, everybody. Good to see you all. And the time has come again when we start to structure the upcoming 2025 county tax bill. We always start with proposed due dates that we need a resolution to get the project moving. So hopefully you have a copy of all those.
Yes, sir.
So we have due dates proposed for our regular tax bill, which is normally not out in February. And then we have a spring interim tax bill, and we also have an August interim tax bill. So if you want to take a look at those, and if you have any questions regarding the dates.
My recollection, Rich, is that in perhaps general terms, you're guided by state law as to when you have to do this. I think you have a little flexibility on some of the
We
dates.
do. By
Yeah.
state law, they have to be done out by March 1st. And of course, the sooner we can get the bill out, revenue starts to come in for the county. But yes, so normally historically, we've been on them like the first week of February. We start to see revenue probably within the next 7 or 8 days.
And I appreciate your confirming that. We try to point out here quite frequently that so much of what we do, the three of us, your office, Mr. Grippo's office, is governed by state law, state regulations, and we have to adhere to those. So a lot of these things we don't make up ourselves. They're placed upon us by our friends in Harrisburg. So anyway, I interrupted you, please.
So basically what I'm looking for is an approved resolution, and then we can get the ball rolling with that project.
Thank you much. I'll see if Commissioner Kennedy has any questions.
No, not at all.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Sanada? No. Well, that was easy. I guess the only thing left is for us to take a motion and a second that would approve this and allow you to get the ball rolling. So is there a motion for resolution 208?
I move we approve resolution 208.
Second.
Thank you. If there are no other concerns, we'll take a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Rich, thank you for joining us.
A couple other
Certainly.
Another item in regards to the upcoming county tax bill. Historically, on the back of the bill, we have put an ad for the 211. It goes to the United Way. Do we still want to do that? I know we have a new board of commissioners. Maybe I just come to make sure that everybody's on board for that. you know, unless you would choose something else, it's your tax bill, so.
I have no objection, but please, my colleagues need to
We
weigh in.
run your department, we don't worry about it, so whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I have no objection.
Everyone's good with that, okay?
Yes, yeah.
Good question. That's the important part at the back of the tax bill, you know, and make sure everybody's still on board with doing that advertising for them, okay? And then lastly, I just provided you with a current county treasurer's report as of yesterday's business, and where we were, the month of July. We had collected over $871,000, and the year-to-date collection is $26.7 million, which means that we've collected 85% of our potential so far. So basically, we are on track. This is a positive number for us. You know, things were relaxed a little bit now. We're in the penalty phase. We do historically mail out reminder notices mid-October to those who have not satisfied their county taxes yet. And that kind of stimulates some activity before the end of the year, which is December is the final push. So that's where we are. Out of 51,709 tax statements mailed, then your interims 51,861. We've collected 42,242 parcels. So I'm very happy with that, and I think we're on track to. Historically, we collect 93, 94%, and I believe we're on track for that.
Well, I'll say to you what I always say to Mr. Prestipine, if the county treasurer is happy, I'm happy. So, Mr. Sanada, any questions or concerns on what Mr.
I'll second that, Chair.
Thank you. Mr. Kennedy.
Just Richard, you and your staff, you did a great job, so that's all we can ask.
Thank you, Carl.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
that.
Great, can I have a copy of the report?
I sure can.
Thank
You bet.
You want this?
Sure.
Yeah, I get it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Alrighty.
Appreciate your joining us, Rich.
My pleasure. Here, Mike.
The next item on the agenda, and Zoe made reference to it during her public comment, this would be proposed resolution 209. This involves the Newcastle Public Library. The resolution notes that the county has received notification from the Newcastle Area Public Library of the availability of funding for the Keystone Recreation Park and Conservation Fund for the provision of services eligible under the Keystone Grants for Public Library Facilities. And the county wishes to apply for these grants. Be it resolved that the county will prepare and submit a grant application to the Pennsylvania Department of Education. Does that sound right, Zoe? That's who, is that worded
I'm not
correctly?
directly involved with this,
Okay.
but that does sound.
Okay, that's how it's worded. The dollar amount that's being sought for the grant is $750,000. It would be earmarked for infrastructure improvements at the Newcastle Public Library, that the activities will be administered in accordance with all state and federal regulations. Zoe, anything else you wish to add on this?
I don't think so.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Carissa Neary reviewed this resolution, and so that wording, she was fine with that.
Oh,
wording
okay.
For the
Good.
Department of Education.
Great, okay, thanks for noting that.
You're welcome.
Vanessa, I appreciate that. Mr. Kennedy, do you have questions or concerns?
No.
Thank you. Mr. Sanada? No. Well, that being said, gentlemen, would one of you care to make a motion for the approval of Resolution 209?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Thank you both, gentlemen. If there are no other concerns, we can have Vanessa call the roll.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Zoe, you're very welcome to stay for the rest of our meeting. If you have to move along, we understand, but
No.
please, if you're comfortable, please stay, and hopefully we won't put you to sleep.
Thank you.
We appreciate your joining us today. Next on the agenda, Mr. Mike Grippo is with us from CYS. Mike, good morning and welcome.
Good morning. I know Vanessa saved the best for last.
Coach, I just can't believe you only have one.
I was waiting for you to say something.
Well, here's the deal. I have 13 already ready to go, but the state hasn't approved it yet. So they're sitting there, all ready to go, and every time I keep checking, the OCYF that hasn't approved it. So I can't do nothing until they approve the rates and that.
You're at their mercy.
So at one time, you might get about 10 at one time, so.
We'll let you know.
But thanks for the book, Dan.
Oh, yeah,
take a
please
look
keep
at
it as long as you need it. I hope you enjoy it.
But anyhow, this is a renewal, it's a foster care in Jefferson County. We've never used them, but it's a backup plan, for lifespan family services. The rates are reasonable, and again, it just, in our field, you have to have contingent plans in case the one don't fall, or something falls through, and that's what this is.
I say it every time, but it bears repeating. This is so helpful, this document that you give us. And I'll note for the record, and I'm probably splitting hairs here a little bit, but this is Jefferson County, Pennsylvania. The reason I say that, if I recall, we may have had one in Jefferson County, Ohio. I might be wrong.
We do
Okay.
for JPO.
Oh, for JPO.
Yeah,
Okay,
We have
so,
a secure facility there.
okay. So
Yeah.
let the record show that what Mr. Grippo is presenting today is an organization based in Jefferson County, Pennsylvania.
And I did make a call into them because at the second page at the bottom, it says complex cases. And I wanted to get more information on what they consider what complex case, because we're always faced with issues with complex cases. I've yet to receive a phone call back, but at least I reached out to see. So we can be prepared in case we have a situation with a child, that this would be something that we could use.
We appreciate your doing that for us, Mike, very much. Let me see if Commissioner Sanada has questions.
No, as usual, Mike, you have it all very thorough.
Thanks.
Thank you, Chris. Mr. Kennedy?
No, good.
Okay, thank you, sir. Gentlemen, would one of you care to make a motion for the approval of Resolution 210?
I move that we accept resolution 210.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded, and I thank you both. If there are no other questions or concerns, we could do a roll call, please.
Commissioner Sinata,
Yes.
Commissioner Kennedy,
Yes.
Commissioner Vogler,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you. Mike, as always, thank you, and we won't see you next week, but maybe
No.
we'll see you in 2 weeks.
So put your seatbelts on. Right up. Next 2 weeks.
Oh, that's fine. We'll be ready for you, Mike.
All right, thanks.
Thanks, Mike.
Thanks so much. We move to announcements. This board will reconvene on August 13th, 2 weeks from today at 10 a.m. in this room. Meeting will be open to the public. And as we noted earlier, Board of Commissioners will not be meeting a week from today, August 6th. We will be attending the annual statewide County Commissioners Association Conference in Adams County. I chuckle every time I say that because I've mentioned to one of the Adams County Commissioners, I said, "Oh, our conference is in Gettysburg." And he said, "No, the conference is in Adams County." He was very specific about that. He said, "There's more to Adams County than just Gettysburg." I thought that was interesting that he was very adamant about that. Next week on August 6th, which is a Tuesday, the Opioid Advisory Board will be meeting in this room at 12 noon, and that is open to the public. And then on Tuesday, should that be Wednesday, August?
Should be
Wednesday, August 14. Let's scratch Tuesday, we'll put Wednesday. Wednesday, August 14, the Lawrence County Planning Commission is scheduled to hold their monthly meeting at 12 noon at the Moco Coffee House in the borough of Bessemer. And that is on, I believe that would be East Poland Avenue. Does that sound right, Chris?
Yep.
East Poland Avenue in the borough of Bessemer. Those are the announcements. Let me reopen the meeting. We still have one member of the public with us. Zoe, anything else for us today? We appreciate your taking the time to be with us.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Closing comments from my fellow commissioners. Mr. Kennedy?
None.
Thank you. Mr. Sanada?
I have none as well.
Thank you much. Joe or Vanessa, anything that we have perhaps forgotten?
No, sir.
All righty, thank you for that. If there is no other business to be brought before the board, may I please have an adjournment motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye, opposed, the same sign. Motion carries. This meeting's adjourned, and Joe will turn off the computer. Thank you, everybody. You both have time to have Mr. Yeah, they're both available.
Just gonna say here.
No, why don't we go upstairs?